Day long. Keep it here on Eyewitness News 5.
Tell you to do, David. Because you don't have a choice. Don't you ever forget that. One word from me and you are ruined. And if your precious son ever learned the truth about you, oh, well, he would be far more hurt than believing that Grace, wonderful Grace, is his mother. You would destroy him and yourself. And then where would you be?
Yes, you're a very, very lucky woman, Grace.
Yes, I know I am. I don't know what I would do if I lost John now that he's back in my life.
I can explain, Antonio. Don't bother. Couldn't be any plainer.
Antonio.
Look, like I said, it's a good thing I came down here. I mean, you don't get a real sense for things when you're just watching them on TV. What? Well, the newscasters can talk about it until they're blue in the face, but I mean, you don't get the idea of how treacherous that water is and how unstable it is down there. I don't know how anyone could see anything, let alone a submerged car under all that water.
I tried to call you.
Yeah, I was in Boston doing follow-up on that lead of the sketch we had on the woman. I had no idea she was still right here in Harmony. I wouldn't have left your side if I'd have known she was here. Okay? Sheridan, look, you should really be in the hospital.
Antonio's right, Sheridan.
I came back from Boston as soon as I found out that wacko might have our kid. I'm going down there myself.
Luis, this is a mission for trained divers.
I don't give a damn. I gotta save Sheridan's baby. I'm going with you.
No way!
Look, Sam's right. It's much too dangerous for you.
Stay here with Sheridan.
Are you crazy? Right, you just took a bad fall at the warehouse. You haven't slept in days. The water's freezing, so rough even the trained divers have given up for now.
I don't give a damn. Come on, man. There could be a good-sized air pocket in the car. I'm going in there, Sam.
Luis, I'm afraid for you, mijo.
Oh, don't be, because you know I have to do this. Just see if you can talk some sense into this one here. Get her back to the hospital.
Absolutely not. I'm not going anywhere until I know my baby is all right. Cuidado, mijo.
Wait a minute. You're not going down there, are you?
Damn straight I am.
Listen, the conditions are as bad as I've ever seen them. It'd be a miracle if anyone comes out alive.
Oh, happy day. I've never seen my bowl quite so animated.
What does it mean?
It means heartbreak and tragedy galore, that's what.
So what else is new?
What's new is that this can turn out to be a real doozy. Lots of pain and suffering afoot.
For who?
For whom, dear?
If I wanted my grammar corrected, I'd move back home with my mother. I don't get it.
Well, watch. What did I tell you? Hearts breaking all over the place. True love just doesn't stand a chance.
But for whom? Who is it telling us about? My parents?
Come on, baby. We'll find another place to crash.
No, Chad, no.
Whitney and Chad are all the way out in Los Angeles. What's their problem?
Let's have a gander, shall we?
I can't believe the way you're trashing Fox.
He sold us out.
Oh, What a tangled web indeed.
Not just me with Sid Valentine's contract, but he put you at a greater risk by letting LaToya get away with shooting you.
Look, all I know is it could have been a lot worse for all of us if Fox hadn't figured out how to bargain with Puff Dog. Whitney is right. Okay, this is one of those situations where the end justifies the means. Little Ethan could have lost his mommy in there a few minutes ago if Fox didn't take the action that he did. I don't know how I can ever repay you for saving my life.
Don't worry about it.
Doesn't it bother either one of you that LaToya is walking away from an attempted murder without even a slap on the wrist? And we're supposed to get down on our knees to thank Fox for that.
The only proof we had that LaToya was tied to Whitney's shooting was Puff Dog's gun with her prints on it.
And judging by how freaked out Puff Dog was, I bet anything he used that gun in other shootings. Baby, don't you see? With LaToya free to run the streets, there's nothing stopping her from coming after you again. Fox didn't save you. He made you a bigger target than you already were. He put your life in grave danger. Thanks to Fox, we have nothing to go to the police with. LaToya and Puff Dog are back on the streets to do whatever the hell they please, and that's not what I call saving people's lives.
Chad's right. I mean, without that gun, we got nothing to tie LaToya to your shooting. And I'm sorry, Whitney, you are still in danger from her, maybe even more so than before.
We weren't getting out of there alive until Fox came up with his bargaining chip, right? I mean, doesn't that mean anything to the two of you?
If he did it to help us, I'd say yes. But I don't trust his motives.
What is wrong with you guys? Ethan, I understand that you have had problems in the past with your half-brother. But don't you think that you are selling him short?
Teresa, it's okay. I appreciate it, but you don't have to defend me.
You know what? There's nothing I'd like more than to be wrong about Fox, okay? But I just don't think I am.
And I'm worried about your safety, Whitney.
Then, you know what? I guess I'll just have to be more careful, okay? I won't walk in deserted areas by myself.
That's no insurance.
Then maybe I'll just move back to Harmony.
You don't mean that.
Why not? Chad, I mean, really, why? A lot has happened in the past few days, and I have a lot to think about. And I might do it better 3,000 miles away from you.
Dude, I couldn't stand if this drove you away from me.
Look, if I do go, it won't just be about LaToya shooting me. It'll be about you being married to her before. So don't blame Fox for something that he had nothing to do with.
I don't believe you're saying this.
Why not, Chad? Do you have any idea what it felt like to find out that you were married to another woman? Maybe LaToya feels like she has good reason to come after me, to protect what she feels is really hers.
You think this is funny, Fox? Did it ever occur to you that your big-time grandstanding move tonight might have put Whitney in even more danger?
I'm not really worried about LaToya coming after Whitney again.
Why not? You should be.
Well, I don't know, Chad. She can't really do anything to Whitney if she's in jail, right? Which, thanks to her prints all over this gun, I don't know, I'm guessing maybe, probably, that's where she's headed.
Chad was married to this LaToya person all along?
So it seems. Ah, you can take the boy out of the street, but apparently you can't take the street out of the boy. And who'd have thought his wife would be so jealous and trigger-happy at that?
She could have killed Whitney.
Yes, she could, if her aim hadn't been so bad. Oh, I don't hold out much hope for that particular couple. No, Whitney can never trust Chad again. Everything she believed about him has been undermined.
This could be exactly what Simone needs to get Chad for herself. I gotta call her and tell her.
And what exactly do you think you're going to tell her? I was looking in this magic bowl in Tabitha's kitchen, and I saw what was happening to Chad and Whitney in L.A. Don't be silly, Kay. Simone will either think you've lost your marbles or that you're playing some mean joke on her.
I just wish that there was a way I could let her know how vulnerable her sister's relationship with Chad is right now. Where's the picture?
Wait a minute, I think the bowl is going to show us some other ill-fated twosome.
Look who's back. My loving mother. I'd like to see what's going to become of her.
You know, it was like a miracle, finding out that I had another son.
You're getting all sappy on me again, Mom.
I'm sorry, sweetheart. It's just, you know, it's so hard when I see a friend like Pilar suffering with her family.
Yeah, I'm going down to the old bridge.
No, it's too dangerous.
I'll be careful. I mean, maybe there's something I could do.
Okay, but just promise me you'll stay close to Sam, all right? He won't let anything happen to you.
Don't worry, Mom. I'll see you later, Dad.
He's such a fine young man. You raised him well.
Thanks. Yeah. He means the world to me.
I'm just thinking about Sheridan. Having a baby and losing it right away. How does anybody survive something like that?
They do what they have to do, Grace. Pick yourself up, brush yourself off, and try to get on with life.
Suppose that's what I was supposed to do after my miscarriage.
You know, sometimes things happen for a reason, Grace.
You make it sound as if I deserved to lose my baby.
And you make it sound like every bad thing that has ever happened is my fault.
Well,
you know, I don't get you, Grace. How can you be so sympathetic to everyone else's losses and not appreciate at all what I have been through? You know, I just wish everybody could see what the real Saint Grace was like. I was younger than Sheridan when I got pregnant and lost the man I love.
Yeah, Sam.
Yes, Sam, and I had to raise his son with another man, a man I despised. I never knew the joy of having a family with the father of my child. That was taken from me and from Ethan. We were robbed of our life with Sam.
You know what, Ivy? Enough. I am sick and tired of hearing you whine about how wonderful your life would have been with my husband. You made your own bed. You just refused to accept responsibility for it. Well, get over it. And get out of our lives. Right now. Tonight.
Luis, now listen. I think you should reconsider, okay? You haven't slept or eaten in days. There's a major storm coming in. The water's freezing. It's treacherous down there.
So what would you do if one of your kids were down there, Sam?
All right, you got me. But you don't know for certain that Sheridan's baby is in that car.
Well, if there's a 1 in a million chance, I gotta take it.
Please be careful. Find my baby.
Luis, yeah, that goes for me, too. I can't thank you enough for everything you've done. I know you did the same thing for me.
What do you think his chances are?
About 1,000,000 to 1. He's not coming out of there alive.
You are my passion for life.
I have never held myself up as a saint. And you want to know why? Because I am not. I'm only human. So, Ivy, you are just going to have to forgive me when I tell you exactly what I think about you. I have never wanted you in this house. You are a manipulative, greedy, resentful woman scooting around in this high-tech wheelchair trying to get the sympathy of the world in general and Sam in particular. And I'm not going to put up with it for one more day. I want you out of here tonight.
Sam said I could...
Oh, you know what? I will fill Sam in. I'm not going to have you slithering around here any longer. Sam and I have enough problems in our relationship without you trying to undermine us every step of the way.
What? Now you're blaming your marital difficulties on me, too? I am not the one who forced you to have a second honeymoon with David here, or forced you to climb into bed with him naked. And what about the annulment papers he's always offering to sign? You're the one who keeps putting David off. It seems to me that any problems you and Sam have are because of the choices you've made and not me.
Don't you dare blame Ivy for this. It's all on you. You're the one who won't let David sign the annulment papers. You're the one who's hiding behind excuses. Talking about how we have to set examples, not wanting to look like hypocrites. This is all your fault. You, and only you, have destroyed our marriage.
That is not true.
Sam, I love you.
Not enough to make David sign those papers.
Why can't you listen to me?
Because we have nothing else to talk about. You're not my wife, and I'm not your husband. So why don't you go back to David? Huh? He's your real husband. Why don't you just leave me alone, okay?
Oh, Sam.
You chose to come up here with David, even though I told you if you did, that we were over.
Then why did you come up here?
Because a part of me still trusted you. Still wanted to believe that your intentions for coming on this trip were exactly what you told me they were. I wanted to believe that we had a future. And I suppose that part of me wanted to believe that you still love me.
Sam, I do.
And you've proven that how, Grace? By coming up here and jumping into bed with David?
No,
You know,
Sam,
I can take almost anything from you, Grace. But not this. We're finished.
You are the one who has put the man you supposedly love, Sam, second to almost everybody, especially David and John.
Oh, don't you dare bring my son into this. You have no idea what it's like to find out you have a son you have no memory of. And as far as my marriage...
Which marriage would that be, Grace? Which marriage? The one to Sam or the one to David? Because I'm having a hard time figuring out which one you think is valid. Why don't you just do everybody a favor and decide who you want to be married to so the rest of us can just get on with our lives and be with the right people? Or do you just enjoy stringing both of them along, Grace? Is that it? You know what they call a woman who teases like that.
Oh, shut up, Ivy! Just shut up!
Oh. Get a nerve. Well, don't worry. I'm leaving.
You gotta hand it to Ivy. She really knows how to push my mom's buttons.
Well, you're no slouch at that yourself.
Yeah, but she's a master. My mom deserves everything we dish out and more.
It's good to see you back to your old self, Kay. For a time there, while you were in hospital, I was worried you were considering a mother-daughter reconciliation.
You know, I did weaken for a minute because of the baby and everything. But now I realize my mother's a hopeless case. She loves anyone and everyone more than she loves me. She always will. It's just like what Ivy said about her and my dad. Everyone thinks she's so super good and generous, when the reality is she's the meanest, most selfish witch I ever knew.
Hey, watch out who you're calling a witch around here.
You know what I mean. My mom's gonna have to make a choice between Dad and David one of these days. Who do you think she'll stay with?
Never mind about that now. Judging by my bowl, what we've witnessed so far have just been the trailers for the main event. This looks like where the real pain and heartache lie.
John, what are you doing here? Did Grace come with you?
No, I left her back at the house. I thought maybe everybody could use some hot coffee.
Does she know what's happening?
Yeah, everybody does. It's all over the TV. She told me to tell you to be careful.
This is Chief Bennett. Look, isn't it enough that you pulled your divers out of the water? Why do you have to bring in the boat now? How fast is the storm moving? I see. Coast Guard wants to bring in their boat. Apparently the storm's moving in quicker than what we thought. We gotta get Luis out of the water right now.
Well, good luck with that. He's not coming out of there without Sheridan's baby.
Then it'll be too late.
What are you saying? Luis isn't going to come back? It can't be too late. It just can't be.
There's Luis.
Luis! Don't go back down! You hear me? That's an order! The storm's moving up fast!
Maybe he didn't hear you. Maybe he just won't quit.
Oh my gosh. It's Luis. He's gonna die.
So he is.
Luis was pulled under, and he's not coming up.
So it would seem.
Poor Sheridan. She's beside herself. This is awful. I don't even want to watch.
Are you kidding? You mean you'd miss our private screening of what's going on across town? This is the payoff to everything I've worked towards for centuries. Sheridan and Luis will be torn asunder at last, and she will suffer the most unspeakable pain. I mean, first she loses her baby, and now she's lost her secret lover. Of course, I doubt whether her feelings for Luis will be secret much longer. Antonio has to figure out who she really loves.
You're a monster, Tabitha.
Thank you, dear. I try. And I must say, I've worked very hard to tear those two apart. But now I can just sit back and witness the fruits of my labor. Oh, don't act all high and mighty with me, Missy. You were very excited to see Chad and Whitney on the ropes.
I almost forgot about them. What do you suppose is happening to them now?
Let's have a look, shall we?
So see, now you don't have to worry about LaToya gunning for you anymore. Ethan, you said we needed the gun with LaToya's prints on it to put her in jail, so there you have it.
That can't be the gun.
No, it is. See for yourself. Go ahead.
You're right. This is Puff Dog's piece. The same one LaToya used to try and kill Whitney. How'd you get it?
Well, let's just say that once I started waving Sid Valentine's singing contract in Puff Dog's nose, he got a little distracted. So when he was on the phone talking to the lawyers about money or whatever, I pulled a little sleight of hand and voila.
Nice work.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, if what you said was true, once we turn this gun over to the cops, they can run their ballistics test, they can watch a videotape of Whitney's shooting, and they'll have a pretty airtight case against Chad's wife. LaToya. LaToya. Anyway, LaToya is going to be facing some pretty heavy charges, and I think that Puff Dog's going to have some pretty heavy explaining to do, being that, you know, he's the owner of the gun.
You are brilliant. You know that, right?
Thank you.
I knew that you didn't sell us out. He saved our lives. And now LaToya's gonna go to jail! You got the gun with the fingerprints on it. You really did save my life tonight.
Come on, no big deal. Someone had to do something in there, right?
You see? Fox knew what he was doing the entire time. He distracted Puff Dog and his men with all that wheeling and dealing and used that to get the evidence we need to put LaToya in jail.
Yeah, that's right. And once we give that gun over to the cops, they can dust it for prints, they can run a ballistics test, and I think both Puff Dog and LaToya will be facing multiple charges, so I'm thinking maybe you don't have to worry about them coming after you ever again.
Thank you, Fox. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry. I misjudged you, man. You weren't putting Whitney in more danger by ignoring the crime. You were using your head to entrap LaToya, and that's good work.
Thank you, Ethan. Thanks.
I guess I owe you an apology, too. You should have known you wouldn't play fast in this with Sid's contract. You knew how much it meant to my future.
Yeah, actually, you're not going to be producing your first CD anymore, Chad. It cost my family a fortune, but the Crane lawyers already inked the deal.
How could you? You knew she was my ticket to the big time. You lousy son of a...
Listen, man, I'm sorry, okay? Wasn't like I was left with a lot of choices in there.
No, man, if you were smart enough to get the gun, you were smart enough to fake the deal.
No, Puff Dog's too smart for that. I had to offer him something legit to get us out of there tonight. Come on. This is the price.
I wouldn't believe it if I weren't seeing it with my own 2 eyes. It looks like Chad and Whitney could really go on the skids over this.
Yes, this could be the end of that sickeningly happy little twosome.
If only I could tell Simone. She'll find out soon enough. Meanwhile, gives me some hope of my own. If Chad and Whitney can be broken up, then so can Miguel and Charity.
What have I been telling you? Give me a close-knit, loving relationship, any relationship, and I guarantee I can rip it to shreds. There ain't no such thing as everlasting love.
Wow. I'm starting to become a believer.
Mm-hmm. Oh, time to feed my little Endora. Now, did you see where I put her warmed Marmite?
Gosh, that stuff's disgusting.
Yeah, to you maybe, but Endora loves it, as do I. You can give her a bottle if you like, if you have the nerve.
Don't be silly. I'm a new mother myself, remember?
Right. There you are.
Oh, sorrow and heartache is in the air.
And it's only just beginning, dear. Oh, you poor, poor parents.
You're not gonna let Ivy's words get to you, are you?
Well, it's hard not to when some of what she said is true.
I don't think you're a tease. And Sam doesn't either. Ivy doesn't know you.
Well, maybe not. But she's right about one thing. I really haven't been fair to you or Sam. I mean, both of your lives are a complete wreck because I just can't make up my mind. The only husband I ever knew was Sam. And we had a home and a family. I had a storybook life.
Until I came along.
Well, yeah. But it was incredible finding out that I had this whole other life before I met Sam. I mean, I had a husband who still loved me and a son. And I might not remember our marriage or that time in my life, but my feelings for you are coming back to me. I have such a strong connection with you and John. I can't imagine not having you in my life. I can't even think about what it'd be like to have a life without the two of you.
Ivy, what the hell are you doing here?
I saw what was going on the television. I got so worried. I just wanted to make sure you were all right.
Look, I'm fine, but there's a big storm coming in, right? You should go back home.
Well, I would, but I don't want to worry you with that right now.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What are you talking about?
Grace ordered me to get out of the house tonight. I just wanted to come by and tell you how grateful I am for all of your kindness.
Grace told you to get out of the house tonight? All right, Ivy. What did you do this time?
I just told her I didn't think she was handling the situation with David very well. Jerking you around while she's trying to decide who she wants to be married to, it's not fair. She has to decide who she loves. Anyway, I must have pushed a button because she lost it and kicked me out of the house.
Ivy, would you excuse us? Luis went under and he hasn't come back up.
We gotta get the divers in the water right now.
They won't do it with the undercurrent this strong. It's probably what dragged him under. We searched the water with our floodlights, but still there's no sign of him. They said there's no way he could survive out there more than a couple minutes.
No. No. Not Luis. I can't lose Luis, too. I love him so much. God.
So what you're telling me is Sid's contract is more important to you than our lives.
Do you think they'll be able to find Luis?
They have to. I just hope to God he's still alive when they do.
Please come back to me. Please don't leave me.
My wife and my brother in love?
Jessica Lynch had a future full of promise. Then, in a single moment,
We're trapped.
Your daughter has been reported whereabouts unknown.
We're going in tonight.
Let's go, let's go, let's go!
Jessica.
Why